Downtown Amarillo at one point was listed in an old Southwestern Public Service annual report as the best lit downtown west of the Mississippi. If you beamed down in a regional shopping mall, it would take you a while to figure out what city you're in. But when you are in a Main Street historical district, you really understand a sense of place. It's right before the Depression. This building, the Potter County Courthouse, the Fisk, so many of our great buildings were built in that little 3 or 4 year period. And that's what gives Amarillo its distinctive look.
The Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe Railroad, they wanted to show their dominance in every, from northeast, southwest. So they wanted to show their dominance. And according to some documents that I found, that it was designed to blink. And in my lifetime, it never blinked that I remember, so I don't know. It was controlled by a time clock. There were 134 clocks that were all controlled by a main master clock in this building when it was finished. So that was pretty impressive. So everything was controlled, automatically back in 1930.
One of the first things we did when I came to Center City was we raised the money to bring back the Paramount sign to Polk Street. We wanted the idea of lights and action and fun to bring life back to a downtown that had really seen better days.
I remember Gary Pittner and Chan Davidson, John Lutz, the four of us, started talking about, wouldn't it be cool to get that sign back? The sign had been relocated to the former Paramount Club, Northeast 3rd and Manhattan, I believe. And it was mounted on a pole. A fellow named Lowell Staff rescued it along with a lot of the other fixtures from the theater and had restored it back in the 70s. And for a while it was quite a happening place, and then it kind of fallen on hard times, and we were like, well, it's a shame that it's out there. It wasn't even lit. So we had the sign and needed money, and so Center City came in with, I still remember this, $40,000. And that was money that had been given by a donor for an art project. I remember Amarillo National Bank and the Ware Foundation came in and helped us. Then the Harrington Trust came in. And we started picking up some bigger grants.
The Paramount sign, we did crowdfunding before crowdfunding was cool. We sold every light bulb for $50, and that's how we raised the last money to get it in place.
There are 850 bulbs on that sign, front and back. It was very expensive to restore. It had to be basically stripped down, repainted. Wellborn Sign Company was up to the task. It's okay, we get the sign done. Funny thing is, then it's like, how do we get it back on the building? So it was an obstacle everywhere we turned. They had actually cut the supports off when they removed the sign. So we had to get structural engineers back in to say, how do you put it back? And then we got the sign hung, and then this was about 2 weeks out before the big relighting. And where do we plug it in? Nobody was like, oh, we didn't thought about that. There was no electrical power to it. And this is how I plan ahead. And I work for the electric company too. So we had to get some, Duke Electric had to come in the last minute and help us get that set up.
And when we flipped the switch in 2006, to me it really marked a new era for our downtown. I knew at the time that the Paramount sign was not the biggest thing we would ever do, but it was one of the biggest statements we could make to bring that back to Polk Street. The Courtyard by Marriott was brought back with historic tax credits. And when you use historic tax credits, you really have to follow the historic standards. So at one point, we wanted the neon sign, and the Historical Commission said it wasn't accurate. We went back through the postcard books and found the big white neon diamond for Zales jewelry that used to be on that building, so we could prove that it had always been there. And then the developers wanted you to be able to see the Courtyard sign from Interstate 40, because at that time, all the hotels were along I-40. And we found out that the old Plains National Bank Buffalo sign had historical significance there, and we were able to bring back a neon sign on top. And so we got permission from the Historical Commission, then came Courtyard by Marriott. And so now the only two Courtyard by Marriott hotels that have neon are ours and another little one in Las Vegas. Center City is proud to administer the Facade Grant Program with the City of Amarillo. And because of that matching grant, a lot of them have been able to do significant neon. And then with new technology, the LED lights have really brought the cost down. The 6-car brewery sign, for example, that's LED. The oil derrick on Canyon Exploration, that's LED. And one thing that's so much fun about LED is that there are apps and the owners can program on their phone so they can change color. And it's exciting, you know, if you have the Susan Komen Race for the Cure, you can glow pink, maybe green for St. Patrick's Day. And those are things we couldn't do with neon, but it shows that the new technology just keeps evolving.
The signs up there are still on just a photo cell. When it gets dark, they turn on. The lights down here that are kind of shining up against, they replaced incandescent bulbs that were 500 to 700 watt, and they were original, and there were 32 of them that were orange and yellow, and the railroad wanted to use those as kind of a prairie fire type look. So when the lights were removed, they went with LED, and they're programmed through a DMX controller, and that's the main theme is prairie fire. And they can be changed, you know, at the judge's discretion for, you know, Easter, Christmas.
The neon is iconic, and it really shows the history. We've tried to bring back the signs. For example, on the Center City Furniture building, it's the old Crest. We brought back the Crest sign. The F.W. Woolworth sign is back. The Levine sign, you know, all these things are coming back, and it's just a way to say, this was the history of this building that we want to save.
When that sign came back, it was such an incredible sight to see it back on there, because I didn't really remember it, you know, but I'd seen all these pictures, and I was like, it's just like the picture, you know, exact same sign, exact same place. And it really got people excited about, not just about old signs, but also about what can we do downtown to bring crowds down and all of a sudden people were taking all these photographs in front of it, you know, so it became an icon virtually overnight. And still to this day, when people come into town and they want to remember Amarillo, they take pictures in front of this sign.
People love the neon. The Amarillo National Bank sign that says Amarillo is one of the biggest selfie spots in downtown. If you're downtown in the evening, you can almost always see people taking their picture there because it says, this is Amarillo.
You know, it's definitely pretty, and if there's a light out, one of the letters is out, I get a phone call pretty quick. So I know a lot of other people are looking at it too.